Hello and welcome to Shinelikeadiamond show. We are back with more questions and topics and just sharing knowledge and experiences so we can learn more and open conversations that needs to be had so we can all have a bit of a better coping life with everybody out there. And today Danielle is here to help me with those questions. And Danielle has brought up a lot of topics that will really resonate with all of you, and plus me. Actually, I've learned a lot throughout. But let's talk about a subject that people don't seem to understand, and the subject is about the sacrifices that parents and carers out there have to go through to be able to cope with this condition that the children are struggling with. Them themselves have to really put themselves in a better place in mind so that they can be able to cope with this, because it takes a lot out of you, it drains you, and it's very, very demanding. So as we know, because of the challenges and how demanding it is, it's a bit very tough to hold unemployment, isn't it?
Definitely. Before she was born, had a good career. I was with Dundee City Council. I was a community safety warden, nighttime noise enforcement officer, which I loved. I thought, this is great, this is my life, I have my pension. And then along came she. And everything was good for a couple of years. You do, every kid is a struggle as you work. And then he was displaying the challenging signs, and he wasn't going at the same pace as the other kids, and he needed a little extra attention. His speech hadn't come on, so that whole thing turns your world right upside down. So what you think your plan is not your plan anymore. No. You have a new plan. So I had to think, work or shape. Early intervention is the most important thing. If we have to get them young, we have to help them as much as possible. And the only way to do that is to be there 24/7.
Very, very, very demanding and very difficult, of course. And what we're trying to do here is make people understand beyond looking at you when you're walking about and you think, oh, you're not maybe doing the right thing. Maybe you're not acting. Maybe you're not enforcing, a bit of discipline in the child. And need them to understand behind that is a mom who's literally had to sacrifice a lot for this child. And
if I went to work every day, then she wouldn't get the attention he needed.
Yeah.
So he would be deprived of my love, my attention, the experience to help him. It's basically the foundations of life you have to teach him. He needs the basics to go out in the world. If he doesn't have it, then he's going to struggle big time.
That's what I need people to understand, because the sacrifices you had to make where you made that decision now to stop working and now become full-time mom. And let's all go into the details. It's not just being a full-time mom.
No.
It's a lot that comes with it, isn't it?
Big responsibility. You could watch other kids in their home and they're, Mummy, I'm hungry, Mummy, can I get this? You say, wait there, and you can see there's some structure, some organisation, there's a system going on in the house. We have nothing.
You have to go back to the drawing board.
Do you think they're hungry? Why are they crying? Because they're not communicating. If they're non-verbal, they won't talk to us. So we have to think, is the food I'm giving them not appropriate? They can, maybe you think, oh, they're not hungry, they're not eating, it might be the food. You might have to change the food, it might be the texture, the taste. What else? There's other challenges. There's everything you do is about them. You can't sit and have a coffee and put your feet up and watch TV. There could be picking plugs and licking light bulbs, and they could be doing anything. And the safety aspect is, my house, you would know, it is shade-proofed. That's what I say. I know that he could go upstairs in his bedroom and he's okay because I have CCTV watching him. He still has his privacy. He could do his own thing, get his own space, time away from me, but I'm aware of what he's doing. I've got CCTV in the garden.
Yeah.
Also, I've got a big garden,
Yeah.
and it's all his things because I can't just put them outside and say, go to the park, go and play with other boys in the street. Can't do that, they're stuck in the house.
Yeah.
So basically, I have a play park in my garden.
Yeah.
I had a 10-foot swimming pool at one point, the summer holidays just there. A fortune I spent on heating the pool up. However, I could spend a lot of money on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's about thinking
yeah.
your
But
budget.
This is where it's sad because as much as you're trying to do all that to make sure she, gets the needs he needs, it's costing you a lot of money, but there's no help out there with the institution. We're not getting a lot of financial help, are we?
No. Everything we funded is through ourselves. It's in our own pocket. There is some services out there, the family fund. However, they're struggling.
As well.
So even if it was once a year, they were getting now it's once in 2 years, 18 months, is it? And even then, it's a long time, 18 months, for a kid to have a trampoline and for it to still be okay in 18 months.
Yeah, because every little thing is a milestone.
Yeah.
And for them, it's trickled through. They can't just do things. Everything is in moderation, isn't it?
Yeah. We had to get our fence heightened and double lined, so that you couldn't get his feet in to climb over.
Yeah.
Or you'd be away. Yeah. I'm dreading the time when he's able to jump over the fence. I might have to net it at the top. I'm thinking maybe basketball courts. What do they do? But things we have to think about that nobody else has to think about.
Can you imagine that? Where your life, you literally turn into a coordinator. You literally are event coordinator where you're thinking, what do I do next? When do I stop this child from doing this? How do I keep this child busy? How do I do it? Where other parent can sit there and think, I wonder what happened yesterday in a soap of Emmetel. Yeah. Or this and that. You have that privilege to sit down.
Even if you went to the soft play fun factory, you see them all the mums sitting having a cup of tea.
Oh yes, talking about how we can't out and all that.
We can't do that.
We can't do that.
You're like, they're hanging off the end, they're going to fall. Another child is going to pull their hair or something. Yeah. So we're in the soft play. Yeah. We're running through the nets. We're chasing them around there.
Yeah. Keep it young though, we gotta say.
We're going down the chutes.
Yeah.
It's like, slow down.
I remember, because you go somewhere and then a parent may come to you and say, why don't you leave him alone? He's old enough. Yeah. Because you don't get the privilege of doing that.
No.
Have to chase them around.
Yeah. I would love to be able to sit back and know that he's not getting himself in any harm or any harm to others. I would love that.
Yeah. But we don't get the privilege, so that's one thing you have to understand. There's a lot of sacrifice and hard work that it comes with a parent and a carer that takes care of any child that is living with, not even any child, even adults. Because this thing never goes away. It's a condition. It's a long life living. So the older they get, you still have to go through the puberty. You have to go through adulthood, and you want this child to have a normal life like you, and it is just hard, as we are saying. And also now the behavior within itself, there is a lot of behavior that comes in with the sensory. There is, of course, now where they get overloaded and then they can be the meltdown and all that. So you're constantly having to think ahead. What do you do to avoid the meltdown? What do you do to reduce the sensory issues? Like she said, like Danielle just said here, her house is shame-proofed. So that is literally the life that you have to live. So we have a question from Helen here, who's actually asked about the obsession, which is something else that these children struggle with. So she says, how can you discourage obsession by children with autism?
Good question. Every obsession is different, but it's finding out why are they obsessed? What reason? You have to just look into it a bit more instead of just saying, "Oh, the child has a weird little quirk." Just leave them; they're happy. Look into it because there could be a reason. It could be a control thing. It could be there's 100 reasons. Yeah, I've just lost it.
Yeah, it's well, I know it's hard because when there's sensory issues and then there's a way they find themselves, they actually start finding a way to calm themselves. So this obsession could be as a result of that.
Exactly. I have a lawnmower that's quite loud, and when she sees me pull it out of the shed, it's, oh, I'm going to run, give it your defenders, I'm going to get a block, I'm going to throw over the fence. Now he's got an obsession with blocks.
Yeah.
And we even found out at the school, now they're having an obsession with blocks that he's putting them down the drain. So we've had to change it.
Yeah.
So instead of him going and get a block and putting it down the drain, we're saying get a leaf or get a twig or get something natural that's not going to block the drains and put that down the drain. And he's still got control, he can still do his actions, but it's changing it.
Yeah.
But then we're finding out, why are you doing that? It's because when I go to cut the grass, it's too loud and he knows he's going to panic.
Yeah.
But if he does this little routine, then it's going like, oh, go and do it. It's fine.
Yeah. See, that's amazing. To me, it's just amazing because they're already finding a way to manage a problem.
Yes.
It's amazing. So what she is doing, and even what Helen is asking me about the obsession, it's their way of coping.
There's always a reason for why they're obsessed, and it could be more of a deeper issue.
Yeah. It could be something within themselves. So maybe Helen, look around as to why when this child starts showing that kind of behavior, maybe try and source out what could be triggering for them to do that. And maybe once you solve that, you can be able to distress the child. I think that's a very good answer. Thank you, Danielle, for that. And she also wants to know what activities can help reduce hyperness in children. Because some of these children, of course, we know they are full of energy. So what activities can they do to make these children, at least give them a bit of something to concentrate on instead of lashing out or jumping or leaping at the kids or just trying to take off and literally run away?
It's just finding out what that child's like. My son likes to draw. He likes chalk. We give him chalk. He goes on the pavement outside and he does drawings. Anything visual or anything that they enjoy, but something that is calming, is concentration, and it's my son gets hyper, and then if you do something jumping around that's makes him more hyper, he's high as a kite, and it takes hours to come down again, and then he'll never go to bed that night. So it is about calming things down,
reducing.
Yeah.
So you can hear there's a lot out there that is, we can never finish this with the topic because it's just a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of knowledge we share and a lot of tips that we can all use to try and improve things. And with that, again, we thank you for joining us. And we'll be back again to discuss more with Danielle because there's still a lot that we need to talk about. But we appreciate that you're here with us, listening. And of course, please remember to share any information you have out there or any tips that you think can help somebody else. Please get in touch with us and let us know what you think and share these ideas so we can also bring them to everybody else. And also please remember to follow us so that we can all continue to educate people with our experiences and our knowledge. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.